Hey guys, what's up? I'm back for reviewing again. As you can see, I'm doing this a lot more often, but this time it really called for a good reason. So, today I'm going to be reviewing a movie that I just saw, but that I've been wanting to watch for a very long time. It's called Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Now, the reason I haven't really seen this movie is because it's been out for a while, and I haven't really had the chance to watch it. But as I was watching Comedy Central, I forgot what ended, but then all of a sudden Scott Pilgrim was on. I'm like, okay, I gotta stop what I'm doing and watch this movie because I've been told by many of my good friends that it is a great movie, and all the things that I've heard about it made it sound like it was just my type of movie. And, well, before I start talking about how much I liked it, let's just make sure that we know that this movie is good enough material for you to watch. So, is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World all it's hyped up to be, or is it just an overrated film? Let's start with the story. So I'm gonna get this out of the way first. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is based off a comic book. I don't know how old it is, but I know that it's, based off a comic book, so that would explain why it's so stylized in its action and its dialogue and its characters. So we begin our story with Scott. Now, Scott Pilgrim, he's in a band called Sex Bomb, and he plays with his friends, which is Neil and his ex-girlfriend Kim, who is actually one of my favorite characters in the movie because the way she acts towards everybody and Scott just seems like she doesn't really care about anybody, and I find that really awesome in her character. So, the beginning of the movie, Scott is dating a girl that is younger than him because he's been out of high school for a couple of years, and he's dating a little Asian girl in high school named Knives. And it's an okay relationship. He's kind of proud of it, but it's kind of one of those relationships where you're like, well, yeah, I'm in one, but nothing to really brag about. And then as the movie progresses, he runs into the girl that you always see in the trailers, Ramona Flowers. Now, as soon as he sees her, he can't stop thinking about her. And he feels kind of guilty at the same time because he has a girlfriend, Knives. So, as he's always thinking about her, he decides to go for it. And look, surprisingly, he succeeds. This girl who's very hardcore, as a lot of people say, and very different. She just moved there from New York. So, yeah, they hit it off pretty well. But, as you know, the main premise of this movie is Scott having to fight the 7 evil exes of Ramona Flowers. That's right. In order to date her, he has to fight all of them. And that's what really made this movie awesome. Not only was the art direction, or not really art because it isn't a video game, but it feels like one, which is why it's really cool. I mean, the action scenes, there's no shaky cam. You know what's going on, and it's just the colors are popping everywhere. The music is badass, by the way. A lot of its own original songs in the movie, and yeah, it really just wants you to get up and move and play a video game. They have a lot of sound effects from games like Mario, Zelda, Sonic, and it makes you think, how much money did that cost? I mean, that's awesome, but geez, there's a lot of references to all kinds of video games in this movie, and I love it because I get every single one of them. I'm a huge gamer. And yeah, the action, it has like the pow when someone gets hit, it has the thump when someone hits a door or something. It all feels like it's in a comic book, but you're watching a movie. And most comic book movies, like for example Marvel, like they're aware that their source material is comic books, but they tried too hard to be a movie, whereas this one, it's aware of its past, and it wants to be that, but something brand new. And I don't think there's a movie like this out there, at least from what I've seen. It's very original, very cool, and I did not want it to end. Like when Scott had just beaten the 3rd evil boyfriend, Todd, I realized that there are about 4 more exes to go, and I'm like, sweet, we got a lot more of this movie to go. And yeah, all in all, this movie is just really awesome. It's very funny, too. A lot of the humor just pokes a lot of fun at video games, comic books, and breaks the fourth wall a lot, and I love breaking the fourth wall humor. It's probably why I like Deadpool so much, but who doesn't like Deadpool? So, the premise of this movie doesn't get boring. It has great characters that you can really grow to love. I mean, the action is over the top. Characters are just so colorful. There's not a boring character in this movie. It's hard to hate the villains because they're so hilarious and awesome. I mean, Chris Evans, the actor who plays Captain America in the most recent reiterations of Captain America, he's in this movie. He's the 2nd evil ex. And this character is freaking hilarious because just knowing how famous he is now, and he's acting like the A-lister in that movie, it really fits for this time. And I'm glad that they included a lot of... I don't really talk about the actors in this movie. Michael Cera plays Scott Pilgrim, and he absolutely owns it as his character. I mean, I know he plays basically the same guy in every movie he's in, but he's basically stuck to that because that's just the look he has. He's the little awkward, trying a virgin teen boy, but he was actually pretty cool in this movie. It was kind of different, but he was still the same Michael Cera that we know, from like Year One, Juno, that one movie where he's trying to get that girl who keeps moving. Youth in Revolt, that's what it's called. And Ramona Flowers, I've seen her face in a lot of movies. I think I've seen her in Sky High. That Disney-esque movie with superheroes that go to high school. I've seen her in places, but I like her. She's a good actor. She's really hot in this movie, too. And, alright, enough about the actors. All in all, I highly recommend this movie, especially if you're a huge nerd. I mean, this basically is just a giant geek movie. I mean, it's a very different movie. I'm sure a lot of other people will get it. Man, I'm liking this winter break so far. So far, I've been watching movies that I've been wanting to watch for a long time. I mean, yesterday I watched The Croods, which was really good. I don't know if I should review it, though. And today I watched Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Hopefully next I can watch Tangled, which I really want to see. I have it on DVD. I should watch that. So all in all, Scott Pilgrim, great movie, well worth your time. Go watch it on TV. I'm sure it's going to play tomorrow on Comedy Central. Well, I hope you had a good time on Ride Time. This was a review of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. And, I have a confession to make. I'm in lesbians with you fans.